What up? It's the Grandpa MC coming at you with another video. Like, subscribe, share, comment if you like. Alright, man. This video gonna be about Bill Belichick and Eli Manning not getting into the Super Bowl, getting into the Hall of Fame, and two different reasons why, and I'm gonna speak on it. Alright, so as we all know, Bill Belichick didn't make the Hall of Fame on this time around, which is incredible. Being that he's won 5 Super Bowls as a coach, as the head coach, 2 as a defensive coordinator with the Giants, and overall highly respected by former players that's played for him, played against him, etc., etc. The reason why I think Bill Belichick didn't make the Hall of Fame this year on the first ballot is because of his arrogance. 1, 2, they wanted to take him down a peg. His arrogance. 2 is his relationship with the press, which is hilarious because all those years he was winning, all the years he was winning, you didn't have one reporter call him on the carpet for anything because they were intimidated. Honestly, they were intimidated. The New England Patriots organization was the model for NFL franchises for a while, especially in their early days. Everybody wanted to try to do it the Patriot way. It calls back to like old school football, every man on the team contributing, doing their job, that was one of his sayings, doing your job. And overall it was a pretty good time for the Patriots. It seemed like they done kind of came back a little bit because they got Drake May down and he's taking them to the Super Bowl. So that's another part of it. And also Tom Brady winning the Super Bowl, however long that was like 2020 with Tampa Bay, kind of put some questions there, because before he won the Super Bowl with another team, people were arguing back and forth whether it was Belichick or whether it was Brady who was responsible for the success. It was both of them, but I feel that Brady put an element of acceptance of Bill Belichick's in the air when he was playing. And by all accounts, at the end of their run, he was the one keeping the boat afloat more than Belichick, and it kind of showed out after Brady left. Belichick, I don't think he had a winning season. I think he might have had one. That might have been the first year. Maybe. Might have been in like a 8-8, one of them 500 seasons. Something like that. But for the most part, Belichick, before he teamed up with Brady, he was a struggling coach. So even though his accomplishments say that he should go into the Hall of Fame, everybody else is saying, well, hold up. You weren't the main force behind it. As opposed to, just say like, what's his name? Parcells is OG. Parcells is recognized as a coach that can turn around, put people in the right places, this, that, and other. As opposed to Belichick thinks his system And the way he goes about things is the way to go about it, which it is, but also you got to have some kind of human factor in them. So that's the reason why I feel that Bill Belichick didn't make the Super Bowl. Now, Eli Manning beat Belichick twice in the Super Bowl. The first time was a shock to the world. Second time, people were thinking, well, he did it before. He maybe could do it again, but they didn't believe. But he pulled it off again. Now, honestly, I'm going to just be honest. Eli Manning is one of my favorite quarterbacks of the 2000 era. Him, Ben Roethlisberger, and Phillip Rivers too. I liked all three. Roethlisberger and Eli came out with 2 Super Bowls. Phillip Rivers came out with 10 kids. I mean, in all seriousness, Phillip Rivers was a very good quarterback for a while. He did play in the championship game in his first year with a torn ACL. I remember that vividly because he was, I don't think anybody played with a torn ACL like that in football. Maybe Youngblood, I'm thinking about Youngblood. Youngblood played with a broken leg. But anyway. The reason why I think he should go into the Hall of Fame is because it wasn't a consistent system and players around him, especially on the offensive side. If you look at Eli's receivers, they had one good year, and then they fell off. For whatever reason. I remember Hakeem Nicks. I remember Steve Smith. I remember what's another one that he was the tight end boss. He was a good receiver, but it wasn't never a year-to-year thing. As opposed to his brother. His brother always had Marvin Harrison there, Dallas Clark, Reggie Wayne, Pierre Garçon. Pierre Garçon had a couple of good years. What was another one? But mainly it was Reggie Wayne and Marvin Harrison. And what's that other one? Stokely. I think it was Stokely. That was another one. All those guys you can remember. But you can't remember too many besides Hakeem Nicks, Steve Smith, and what's that other one? Oh boy, they used to do the tango or whatever. What was his name? He used to do the some shit. I can't remember his name right now, but you know what I'm talking about. They all kind of came up and then went away. And another reason, the main reason why ain't nobody talking about it, is because they don't want to talk about him like that. He took Bill Coughlin. Is his name Bill Coughlin? He took him to the Super Bowl twice and won it. Bill Coughlin was not a championship type coach because he was like Belichick, but even worse. He was kind of a blockhead. He was a blockhead. You know, that stuff worked in Jacksonville with a team that was just getting put together. It was kind of like on a college tip. That's where he was effective. When he went to the Giants, it was a lot of mediocre seasons in there. And Eli was a part of that. And they kept him. And another reason, another coach to bring up was Kevin Gilbride. Kevin Gilbride, if you look back at his history, when he was the coordinator for Houston, they called it the run and shoot. They was running a version of that offense, if not the same offense, in New York. Eli could play like that, but Eli took a lot of hits. A lot of hits. He was getting leveled. That one championship game against the 49ers, it was 2012. It was 2012. Eli Manning took one of the worst beatings that I've seen a quarterback take in the course of winning the game. I mean, like Steve Young come to mind. Not in one particular game, but a lot of the hits that Steve Young took, that's what took him out, catching a lot of them concussions. But Eli was tough. He had a game playing streak for a long time. But he was never able to establish a relationship with a receiver that would put his numbers at a consistent rate. That's my opinion. But as far as like everything that he did, he passed Peyton in my mind. The first Super Bowl Peyton won, he won against the Chicago Bears. Chicago Bears, they could, if they would have had just a regular competent quarterback, they would have beat them. When Denver beat Carolina, the defense carried Peyton Manning to that championship. Everybody knows this. It's no room for doubt. And in the various flameouts that Peyton had in the playoffs, you're gonna sit up and tell me that you put his playoff performances up against Eli, and you telling me Eli doesn't come out looking good? Maybe I'm being a little nostalgic. I don't know, but Eli Manning deserved to get into the Hall of Fame. If not on the first ballot, definitely on this ballot. They just want to keep sticking it. They want to stick it to him or whatever. Want to keep the narrative going. But he's gonna get in. But all these people talking about like Eli was garbage and all that, I'd have to hear from somebody that played from him that said that he was. Everybody that, when they talk about Eli, they talk about him in a positive way. And it ain't just for his personality. So, you get what I'm saying? It's all a popularity contest. Because if you notice the games that they play, when they trying to get onto the Hall of Fame, a lot of them play that game, get into the media, and then they talk for a little bit, play the media game, and then they able to get into the Hall of Fame. But again, better luck next time, Eli. Bill Belichick, you just paying for your arrogance. It's all good. Grandpa out.